Alright. Good evening. What's going on, everyone? We are here, we are live. It is the time. Today I'm going to read your story. It is story time with Uncle Orco. And we're going to read a visual novel. Gonna continue with our beloved Higurashi. And that's it. Yeah, I think we are good to go. Good evening, TSI. Good evening, Charity Champ. And that's it. I'm gonna just go and Higurashi When They Cry. They don't get, like, demonetized or something. I don't know. When They Cry. Continue. Of chapter 6 load. I don't think. Yeah, that was March 28th. We I think we have all of those. We can continue. Let's fucking go. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. You didn't do so badly. You didn't do oh my god. Jesus Christ, it is second fucking sentence in this visual novel and I can't fucking read. It is so embarrassing. Nah. What am I doing wrong, guys? Why is my reading comprehension in the fucking shitter? I don't understand. I just don't. Sometimes I used to be able to read really well. I feel like everything just deteriorates around me. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, let's continue. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mian. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Kiichi-kun. Thank you very much. For Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though. I wouldn't. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clump, 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 fip, fip. Wow, Kiichi's unflicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Raina began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? slept like a log. But if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. It is sometimes hard to keep the characters. For me, at least. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to helping clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of the year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out. But then I noticed a different tone in her voice and started paying attention. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, "Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny." And now I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. These instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose, you hear? I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Raina didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are: the person who can match the murder weapon and the scene of the crime wins. But are they playing Cluedo? There are 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. They're probably playing Cluedo. Sounds like Cluedo, at least. Does anybody play Cluedo? Am I wrong? Correct me. Say it in the comments. Orco, you suck. You don't know what Cluedo is. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh. Card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too. like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. And you don't think for like a second this is fucking weird? So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand, and if you know the answer, the game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. You'll learn as you go. You really need to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with the gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Violent sneezing. So, just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or a happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then I'll go first since I'm the club's president. I guess, well then, Mion knife. Study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene, and ask each person if you have any of those cards. Then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion knife and study. So that means that Mion, knife, and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down. Then I'll go. Reina, eggs, lunch. Only 2 people said they had one? Means out of Reina, eggs, and lunch, one of them is correct. and is part of the crime? No, wait. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. Possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Ooh, he's smart. Well, K-chan is next. Go ahead. Wait, just a little. I'm still thoughting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. There we go. Who lost? All right, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I'm spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika-chan in the infirmary with poison. Well... Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if the deduction was right. You were right! All I needed was one more hand. I could tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Rika is probably the most menacing out of them all. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold though. How did you do, Kiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry. I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? Aber, nein. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in the last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Kiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock, my brother, during the next round. My, that sounds just wonderful. Shall give you quite the thrashing. Thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game. But I was always still a step or two behind. I thought that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out who the criminal. It's to win at the game. Eureka! Sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Mii-chan, that's gross. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around, spending some time cooling my head. Reina had made her way over towards me. Ichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we are playing today? She's taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all horses. Why do you ask, I wonder? I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty? Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. But how can we? I brought my lips up to Reina's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whispering in her ear, I can really hear it. Is that allowed? Did you forget, Reina? The second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. Smirked? If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Yeah. Pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there is no point in going back together. Hello, I'm gonna guess this without the 7th mod. No, I have not installed the mod. Because yeah. I wanted to experience it vanilla again. Because it's been a long time since I read it last time, and I thought, yeah, why not read it on YouTube? Welcome, Titan. Welcome in. Oh, it's Alpha. He's back. Hello, Alpha, baby. Oh, sorry. And what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. My Barakun. May I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. Was rather unfortunate I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guests. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man. His tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Maebara-san? Keiichi Maebara-san? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. Maybe there's a reason for that. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? The man completely ignored my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate, and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know. Stranger danger! And he was asking me to get in his car with him? That's like a porn starts. I'm not gonna bite, says the vampire. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that conversation, said the vampire. Wow. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please let me know if it's too cool for you, okay? I have the habit of cranking it all the way up. So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me, and start my own line of questioning. Keiichi is such a little shithead. Like, no, you're gonna see what's. I think. No, I'm not gonna say anything. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from the expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt, done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, my Bara-san. And quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Ah, it's Tomitake, huh? Huh? This is Tomitake-san. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Now it starts slowly to unravel. It's gonna be so good. It is gonna be so good. I love this visual novel. I say it again. It is just magnificent. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good... What did I do? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I have a good idea too. I don't remember her name, but she was some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I've been rereading Higurashi as well. It's great. It's one of my favorite visual novels of all time. I read quite a bunch of them. But this one is very special because it's just so insane. And if you think about that, Ryukishi is basically inspired by the things that he experienced as a social worker. And it kind of shows a lot of fucked up shit. I didn't know her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Just felt sad in a good way rereading it. I know the feeling. I know it too well, Titan. I really do. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? No, not him. More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, my Bara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. You're also pretty terrible at being a human being, but we don't talk about that. It probably showed on my face. Not at all? If you don't know, then not at all. If you don't know, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. I mean, Take-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing. The accidental death. The death by illness followed by suicide. And the lady who was beaten to death. And the incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No. Rather, I didn't think... No. Rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, curse, Mayabara-san? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city race boys. So, what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting. So, could you get to the point? The man in the picture is dead. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san? It would seem that he died last night. It was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Mayabara-san? Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Chiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me? Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security details at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. the location was, you know, where the radio into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope on the shoulder around there. There were few streetlights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first. But when the officers checked to see if he was still alive, we quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? As in fingernails? With those he clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. Huh? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder, it was suicide. Sure. And I'm fucking Jesus. Tomitake-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Go through skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing. God damn it, how long were his nails, for fuck's sake? Cut your nails, bro? Maybe? With enough intensity, it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then as his nails reached those vital arteries, they should never damage. They continued clawing, splurred. Blood splattered on the ground around him as he bled while gasping for breath. He collapsed. His body spasmed. And he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But it was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. This is an unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in these 5 years. His death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing their throat out. Wounds on his hand matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There are traces of where he struck the trees and the guardrails with. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake-san. There's a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it, and he died. Then he died. That's so nonchalant. Like, oh yeah, and then he fucking died because his throat was he ripped his own throat out. The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m. Meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt and parted ways. Right after that. Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned to home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitake-san was short. We went to the same festival. Spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama curse, the villagers aren't very cooperative. That I knew as well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me, "Aha! That's why he got killed. You just don't tell anyone about this curse." Ooh-ah. So that's why you came to me. Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa. You should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened to me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. The night of the Watanagashi, during the sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, my Bara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. I need to mute myself for a second here. I'll be right back. Alright, back. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitake-san nor I believe in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. There is nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. You know, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Yeah, because he wants you to be his biological surveillance equipment. Things or people or rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they are unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper. As a satisfying grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From a friend as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furuta-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki, you mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friend's names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. That there is no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? The photographer that just took pictures during the festival got murdered. And people don't want to investigate. The police. The other deaths. Oh, you know, where there is smoke, my good Kiichi, there is usually fucking fire! Idiot. No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watakanashi. Don't you think that's a reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa. First it was the dam construction foreman. Then it was a villager that supported it. Those the villagers hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. That means the means are different, but in the end the results are the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion, but it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about the housewife after that? Did she die because she was the wife of the brother? A supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. Bro, people kill for less. What about Tomitaki-san? He's not affiliated with the damn project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning it fell on those related to the dam project. But as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just the enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough. Then next year's victim is just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool? Might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would consider the most outside would be my family. It was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims of my family, was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Neon? I can't go into details, but the Sonosaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mino Sonosaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public work offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This is the first time I'd heard of her family leading the protests, so... Then, well, what did it all mean? You're saying that Mian's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd be the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. Ichi. Trust the police. Believe me. It's fine. No, of course, don't trust the police ever. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. And think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe in the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me not to carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with this with that in the process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. It is now my turn to keep it from them, so they didn't have to worry. I was talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand, I keep it to myself. Is that fine, Mr. Oishi? In the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kura-chan if you want. No, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant. It retrained the hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much of your time. Friends are waiting, aren't they? Should probably let you get back then. The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him. It was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, my Bara-san. There's enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything. But I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, my Barakun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitaki-san's death was hard enough, as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible, not Mion, Reina, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitaki-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's Mi-chan! The perpetrator! Huh? I startled to hear Rina's voice. With the rope in the, lounge. Wahahaha! Nope! No! Reina clutched her head while flailing around. Looks like you're self-destructing over here. Kiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called in the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing last place? But don't worry, Kiichi-kun. I'm at -1 point, I-ho. The heck? Let's go low. It's lower than mine and I wasn't even playing. This is the final match. If the penalty is going to be carried out by Reina alone or both by Kiichi-san and Reina. Yeah, right. Just let Reina do the penalty by herself. Made a promise, Kiichi-kun. If we would both win, I waited all this time, you know? You know? I'm sorry about that. Oh, you better be sorry. I followed my initial plan of showing Reina my cards, but didn't say who was the criminal, and just waited for her to call. I got it! The murderer, it's me! With the poison at the entrance! Is it? Is it? My, Reina, quite a quick answer. Another step in the dark? Oh. Reina's correct. And it's decided that Keiichi's-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Ichiku, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. My fault, so I have no choice. Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. And the dead last are Keiichi Maebara and Rena Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. And probably now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder? Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on the piece of paper. What? There's a lot written on here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck is this? It's her fucking shopping list. It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Yeah, and she needs somebody to do her shopping, huh? It's pretty much what's happening here. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable, thanks. This is your grocery list! I promised myself that if I won next time I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. So stupid. 100% hemorrhoid cream. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Okay, view new tips. So what do we got? Ovo! 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 Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissues packed under the nails. Not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches. Yeah. I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right? It's kind of like when you get your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood. Who scratches their back so hard that they draw blood? What the fuck? Like, if you have maybe a fat pimple on your back, sure. You scratch it a little bit open, you know? On accident, then yeah, blood comes out, but what the fuck? Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. Actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would have prevented you from completely pulling them out. Also, there's a lot of bruises on Tomitake's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before his death. Then he fought back and clawed his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him certainly wouldn't have been surprised by that. It is possible that in such abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon. They only found sand and the paint from the guardrails on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike any assailants. Or it could be they took the plank he was fighting back with. In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all. Har har. That's true. Tomitake is pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic, That's right. He was pretty active. He was in the military too, so I'm wondering. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive. But I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. That is not true. Just because you have raw strength doesn't mean you don't go down easy in a fight. In a fight, if you're in a fight and get smacked in the face and don't have any fight experience, you probably go down like a fucking wet sack of shit. That is just how it is. And yeah. It's just how it is. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. Yeah. To surround and take down someone of his physique. Wonder how many people it would take. Yeah, dimwit. Should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cops day? If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. Guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength they'd need to manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators. So any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious. A group of 4 or more. Just if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from the fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries. That's under serious consideration on your end too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never been encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping much, but I'm looking forward as a result. Oishi-san! The chief is calling you. Thanks, see you around. Yeah, best wishes. Damn. Search notice. Jiro Tomitake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of the forest path. Present of the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. Was seen around 9 p.m. by the police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobo National Railway line? No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compared teeth to dental records. Sent the Metro Police. Attach a photo. Sent the Metro Police. Sent the Metro Police. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mio Tanako missing. Nurse at Erie Clinic. Became close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya X District XXX. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from her jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oishi. Man, that detective is just like you, Alpha. First he gets down to business and then he's like, I'm fucking hungry. Give me the most food that you can find. I'm just kidding, Alpha, you know that, hopefully. Sleepy. Wow, that was a really big yawn, Kiichi-kun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until last late last night. I'm so tired right now. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night? How extremely vile! Don't jump to conclusions! Perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed about. Rika not petting my head only made me feel worse. I mean, you are a degenerate, you know that, right? Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. Ma, you think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Fiona. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended to not hear. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face is so cute. You can take him home later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. Be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Rika-chan is a really good girl. Let's not wake him up, even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the unusual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this. It's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain. I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be one of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Uishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night after the Watanagashi. Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? No, Itake. Not sure. That's all I know. I would have feigned ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret, rather than waking up and being forced to lie. To join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep, to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me. There are others, right? Too. But don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an Onikakushi. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. All there was another, right? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama? Yeah. But this year at all. Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Then without us knowing someone had them, you mean? Maybe. Next could me, I wonder. Don't worry. We got home safely. But it's not allowed, right? It was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspect that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I don't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mian also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah." If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of onikakushi. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena. We called Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That was a horrendous way. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What do I know? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse. And the last point that bothered me was Reina. Reina was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Reina. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain she would be next. I should probably relay that I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard, eavesdropping on my friends and pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answer to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. The teacher approaches. Kiichi-san, must awaken. In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of the afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my... Ow! There was a thumbtack stuck in the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. Furiously jumped from my seat. And I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. But not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. Teacher came in right as I'm about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Kiichi-san? Take your seat. Clump, clump, wish. Wish. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Wow, Kiichi-san is being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Maeba-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me. That little brat. Come on, Maeba-kun. Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologize, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me so. She'd switched to class representative mode. Okay, that's perfect. All right. I'm gonna finish for today. I'm back next Saturday or next week. Keep an eye on the schedule. Keep an eye on YouTube. I wish everyone a super nice Saturday. And with that being said, I've been TheOrcosaurus. You've been an amazing audience. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.